He was abused twice a day, minimum. From Monday to Friday, he was abused once in the morning, once at night, by whoever they wanted. Weekends, it was 5 on a Saturday, 5 on a Sunday, minimum 5 actually. You could go 10 on a Sunday, 10. They all paid their money. His paedophile ring was massive, massive.
There's this innate, natural need to know why it happened, why me, how was it able to happen, why didn't anyone stop it?
A little bit about who we are so that you're not talking to people you don't know.
Okay.
I'm Heather Bacon. I'm a retired child clinical psychologist and I worked in child protection for 30 years, but I'm now retired.
I'm Basha Spalek. I'm a professor in conflict transformation at the University of Derby. I'm also a trained practicing psychotherapist.
My name is Catherine McCall. I have been a family therapist for 30 years. I just recently retired. I'm also an incest survivor, and I wrote a memoir about my experience and healing and got on the bestseller list here. It was pretty amazing.
My name is Payam Akavan. I'm a law professor at McGill University in Canada, and I used to be a UN prosecutor at the Hague War Crimes Tribunal.
I'm Alan Collins. I'm one of the partners at Hugh James Solicitors in London, and I'm advising the People's Tribunal. I'm the solicitor who provides the legal advice that they need as and when, and one of my tasks is also to interview the witnesses who've come forward to the People's Tribunal. I believe I was asked to fulfil this role by the People's Tribunal because of my background in representing victims of sexual abuse. This is work that I've been involved in for many years now. The People's Tribunal's objective is to gather in as much evidence as possible from victims and witnesses, who will then be able to provide substantial evidence for the tribunal to determine the extent of any political or police involvement in child abuse, either directly or implicitly.
Yeah, I was working there one day and a uniformed policeman turned up and he took me round to the police station, which wasn't very far. And as soon as I got in there, he was like shouting at me like I'd done, you know. He was calling me names and shouting at me. It was all me, I wasn't.
But you thought you were the one in trouble?
I was the one in it, yeah.
Right. It is a conduit for victims and witnesses to come forward with their evidence, with their information, and to give their testimony to a body that's entirely independent of the establishment in any shape or form, and for that testimony to be assessed and to be presented. Here's the evidence. Now, act on it. The People's Tribunal decided to have a narrow remit in order to concentrate minds. It was felt that here was an opportunity to drill down, to really focus on what was exercising the general public's mind, and in particular that of victims, of survivors. What were the survivors really getting upset and annoyed about, if not frustrated? That was the issue, whether or not there was cover-up or cover-ups or complicity on the part of politicians or police officers in any shape or form. So let's concentrate on that, let's see what the evidence is, for better for worse, and then the tribunal can assess it and produce a report for the Home Secretary. And you never thought of complaining to anybody and saying something?
Well, no, I didn't, I don't know who to complain to, or I didn't,
Who did you know apart from the other boys and the They had visitors. Beyond that, who did you know?
What, you used to visit?
Yeah, who'd see you, who you could talk to, if anybody.
Not really anyone.
Yeah. It's a form of natural justice, no matter how imperfect it might be for the victims, but also as a society, if we are to improve our lot, we've got to recognise what happens, and for that to happen, we've got to allow victims to come forward and speak.
The second thing that come on was a young policewoman, and I can't remember her name, and she was amazing. This policewoman from was unbelievable. The first words out of her mouth was, "I believe you. I really do believe you." And she was gentle. She was seriously gentle. She never pushed me once, not once.
And listen to what they have to say with respect and try and learn. And try and learn from those experiences of the victims, because that's the only way, in my opinion, that we can improve and try and make sure that history doesn't repeat itself. But that's what we've got to do as a civilised society.
When it comes to child sexual abuse, which leaves profound and lasting scars and traumas, it seems that most of the survivors, or virtually all of them, want more than anything simply to be believed, simply to tell their story. They want the truth, and they want the world to hear what they have suffered.
It would be nice to see someone punished for it, you know, that could have got sniffing the court. But, yeah, I would just be happy to be believed. You know.